Hello everybody. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the horror game that I would make. In my last video, I talked about just a normal game that I would make, but if I could make any game, but it had to be a horror game, this is what it would be. So it would be called The Cult. Now, The Cult would see you, just an innocent person, walking on the side of the road on a busy street. You look off into the woods as you hear some twigs snap. So you walk a bit into the woods, but you can still see the road behind you. You walk 4 feet in. And then you turn around and you're knocked out by a man with a shovel. You collapse to the ground. You wake up and you're in an old house. Very old wooden house. A man in all black comes in with a scythe. And so he's wearing all black with the hood up, and you can't see his eyes, but you can see his mouth. And he says that he will deal with you later. And so he leaves, and another man walks in. He's wearing all black, except the one with the scythe, who's the leader of the cult, has dark red markings on his black robes. But the normal members of the cult don't. They just have black robes. But all of them still have their hoods up, and you can only see their mouths. You can't see their eyes. And so this one grabs a knife, and he says, "A drop of blood is required for the darkness to overcome." And so when he comes down to cut your arm, you end up... The game is also third person, so you would end up elbowing the man in the gut and then wrapping around him because your hands are bound together. So you would throw your arms around him so the rope is in front of his neck and your hands are on either side of his head. And you would just pull and you would strangle him to death. He'll collapse on the ground. Now you would have a combat knife. So your objective now will be to escape the village. So you slide open a window. If you go to actually interact with the door, a message will appear in fancy writing, and it says, "The door is locked. You need to find another way out of here." So you would slide open a window, and that's how you would escape the house. And outside, you will be in this very old village, early 1900s. It was built in 1908. Every house is wooden. And so all of a sudden, a bunch of men in black, so there's the normal cultists, appear behind you. And so you run into the middle of the town and up onto this wooden platform, and a whole bunch of cult members start surrounding you. And there's actually a dead body up on this platform with his throat slit. And there's a pistol in a holster located on his leg. So you grab the pistol and grab some ammo located on his belt. The gun already is loaded though, so you have 3 full clips. You put them on your belt, and your objective would be to fend off these attackers. And so eventually they would peel off, moving backwards, but always looking at you, back into the darkness or behind houses and stuff like that. And you would also actually take the man's bomber jacket. Now, the game will give you an option, because you're wearing a t-shirt, right? So the game will give you an option to wear or not wear it, but it will be in your inventory. So yes, there are inventory spaces. And so there is you hear 2 cultists talking about The ritual is taking place down by the lake. So your objective is to find a map after hearing this. So you do find a map. You can also find weapons everywhere and stuff like that. And ammo. You can find a silenced pistol. Okay, well, the weapons that you can find in this game are a pistol, which is the first one that you start out with, a shotgun, a silenced pistol, and a knife. And you can find ammo for all these. You can hold all three of them. Your inventory is pretty big. And your jacket only takes up 5 spaces because it's rolled up. And so you would find a map, and then your objective would be to leave the town. And so you would actually find somebody who's being held captive. And so you make your way to the gate, and while your friend was trying to figure out how to unlock the gate, you would have to fend off a whole mob of cultists. Again, all of them are just wearing black robes with the hood up. You can't see anything but their mouth. That's all that these guys would look like. Oh yeah, and you can see your hands there. They have gray hands and their veins are black. So once the gate would be unlocked, you guys would run. You guys would start. Your objective would just be to run. And then while you guys were running, you would look back and stop running. You think it's safe. But then when the main character, you, who we'll call, I'm not sure why I'm naming him now, but we'll call him Chris. You would turn around to face him, and then all of a sudden he would get this scythe through the back of his neck and out the front of his neck. It would then be pulled out, and he would drop to his knees, and then the cult member would come out from behind the tree and kick his back so he would fall forward on his face. Chris would then pull out his pistol and shoot the cultist right in the face 3 times. He would fall on the ground. Your objective is to start heading down the path. You would eventually come across a whole giant circle of cultists, and in the middle there will be the cult leader, who is the one with the giant scythe and has the dark red markings on his black robes. So then all the cultists would step to the side and make a path where you can step into the circle. So you step into the circle, and then they would close up this path, and so a boss battle would occur where the cult leader would say, this man will be our sacrifice. If he tries to back out, push him back into the circle. He will not leave this alive. If he wins, then we all back off. And if I win, then the ritual will be complete. So, after killing him, the cult leader, all the cultists would then back off. Except, actually no, all of them would back off. And you would leave. And so you would notify the police, and the police would send the whole SWAT team, and when they would arrive at the town, they would find just a giant pile of bodies in the middle of the town, and it was all the cultists, and all of their throats were slit, so they all committed suicide because their cult leader was dead. And yeah, that would be the end of the game. So I would call it The Cult. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.